The CMA says no to the Activision Blizzard King deal. So the CMA has decided to block the Activision Blizzard King deal. And I'm going to talk like William Shatner as James T. Kirk in this video because I'm just feeling that way today. Now, before we begin, I want to say that I don't know much about the CMA or deals that have to do with acquiring Activision, Blizzard, and King. I'm just one of these really strange people on YouTube that likes video games and talks about video games and gets excited about video games. I'm one of these strange people that doesn't know who the executives in suits are at the companies. Rather, I know who like the creators and the artists are. Those are the people that are important to me. I'm one of those really strange people that doesn't worship executives that go to work in suits that don't create video games or don't create art for video games or, don't create the music. Strange. I understand I'm strange. However, let's say that you want to open up your own newspaper delivery service. You've got a bunch of bicycles. You want to go out there and you want to deliver papers, but you don't want anybody else to really give you a hard time in the competition space because the newspaper delivery service is in its infancy. And maybe in the future, it'll be a big deal. You're not sure, but you're taking a gamble that it will be. So what do? Well, you buy up every newspaper because you can. Would that be fair for other companies in the future that maybe want to get into newspaper delivery? If you already own all of the newspaper companies because you simply can buy them because you have a ton of money, that wouldn't be really fair, would it? And this is kind of what I'm reading into this CMA, the base level reading of it. Microsoft wants to have cloud gaming take off because, much like a service-based industry, much like a software-based company, much like a company with an operating system that you have to use, they want cloud gaming to be a big deal. But they want to make sure that as they get in on the ground floor, that they cut out every other floor. In fact, they just want to buy the whole house. Why not just own the whole house so that in the future, if cloud gaming is a big deal and anybody else wants to get in, well, they already own the house. You've got to knock on the door of the house that they own. They have to open the door of the house that they own to let you into the house that they own. If you want to go on the first floor, second floor, third floor, or in the attic, guess what? They own it all already because they bought it in its infancy. That is the issue that the CMA is looking at. Anybody else getting into cloud gaming in the future would be severely hampered by the fact that all of the content that could maybe push cloud gaming or that could take one person's cloud gaming infrastructure and make it so much more impactful and important than anyone else to the point where nobody else could even get into the industry, get into the game. That's what the CMA is looking at. Microsoft's essentially buying out everything that could potentially create competition for them in its infancy. And that is the issue that they have. The biggest personal issue I have with this is, again, if you want to stop or fight against competition, a great way to do that is to create things that speak to the audience that you want, to pull them towards your products or services. And Microsoft is spending so much time on these deals that suck all of the energy out of the room when it comes to everything else that's important, like video games on their platform. Take a look at Redfall here. Who that is a hyper Xbox fanatic fan on Twitter or YouTube is even talking about this game? How about Starfield? How about anything else about? Where is the energy for that? Instead, it's multi-trillion-dollar deals, Who's the executive of the month? All of these games, all of the energy around the platform and the things that are supposed to be important are being completely and totally squeezed to the point where they are dying. Xbox consoles aren't selling, their games aren't driving excitement, and instead we're talking about deals, we're talking about CMA, we're talking about multinational corporations. I've seen people on Twitter talk about pharmaceutical companies and blocking them in retaliation for this deal possibly not going through. When are we going to come back to Earth? Video games, toys. You're supposed to play with a toy. They're supposed to give you toys to play with. You're supposed to be excited about those. But instead, it's this CMA deal. And again, Microsoft knows that when it comes to mobile, they missed it. They were too short-sighted, too tied up in, again, litigation and trying to push something through that they missed a huge market. And they don't want to miss this emerging streaming/cloud market. And they're trying to take out all of the competition before this market even matures. Should they be able to do it? I'm not here to argue that. They've got tons of money. All I'm saying is I can see the point of view that the CMA has, that you can't talk about an emerging market, you can't talk about competition when essentially right at the beginning you're using your enormous cash reserve to set the rules for everyone else in that market that hasn't fully matured yet. I'd much rather get back to talking about video games. I'd much rather get back to talking about exciting things coming to the Xbox console, as I'm a console gamer. But it seems like most people are so invested in this for absolutely strange reasons that it's never going to go away. So there you have it, CMA blocking the deal. Tell me what you think about this in the comments section below. Is it eventually going to fall flat? Are they eventually going to move on? Or is this going to drag on well into 2024, 2025 even? Games, the Xbox console will languish. Nothing will be exciting other than what executive in what suit and tie is going to argue to the CMA. Thanks for watching the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Mr.